What's up, everybody? Welcome for the first time. We're back to another DLJ Works video. We're not going to waste time. Let's just get right into this. I was inspired by this video, Don the Developer. F your motivation, mistakes that prevent self-taught developers from landing a job. You seen I watched it halfway through, but there was a lot of gems that he dropped in this video, and I recommend that you check out his videos in terms of, how to get a job as a web developer and just being or trying to do something within this particular profession. It looks like he has a lot of good videos, but this was the really first video that I saw. And that made me want to piggyback on some of the things that he actually talked about, because at the end of the day, you cannot survive off of motivation alone if you're trying to get a position in the web design and development industry. And with the emergence of AI coming out, such as ChatGPT and some other AI tools, maybe it's time we just started thinking differently, especially when these artificial intelligence mechanisms could just simply, from a prompt, spit out a whole page of code within 2 seconds flat. I played with ChatGPT and it spit out I told it to write me some code and showing me how to make a CSS, not a flex, a flip, how to do a flip animation. And it did it, no problems at all. All right. So we have to start thinking differently. And on YouTube, not YouTube, on LinkedIn, there's several people that just cry about not being able to get a job. Ooh, why they doing this to me? The Tupac vibe interview. Ooh, why they doing this to me? They shut me down. Ooh. You gotta start thinking differently, man. Like, it's wild out here in these streets. So that's what this video is going to be. I want to piggyback and I want to add something from my experience right now in terms of how I've gotten jobs and what I've actually do right now, where I don't break a sweat. And I'm actually show you evidence where I haven't had to put in a job interview, or let me say it like this, not put in a job interview, but apply for a job or do this whole, make a job out of job hunting, like ever. Like in the past 2 years I've ever done this. I've never had to do that. Like never, ever, ever, ever do that. All right. So I'm gonna give you some alternatives in order to get this done. My advice for struggling self-taught developers looking for work: word of mouth. And I showed my boss potential YouTube channel. This bullet point right here, my first true web development job, because I've been actually a technology teacher this whole entire time. Those of you who watch my channel know that I have a 2-year DeVry degree in web graphic design. So, and that included even doing HTML stuff, CSS, learning Adobe Creative Suites. But back in 2019, I was at a school teaching technology applications, and just through word of mouth, I haven't had a portfolio out since 2016. It's been that long. I have not had a web design development portfolio since 2016, and I've still get job offers. And I'm gonna show you just a recent proposal that came to me. I didn't go out looking for it, but it came to me, and I'm gonna show you that here in this video. But you have to start doing projects for free. If you may already know this, but if you're a web developer, get your GitHub. Do even more than just have a GitHub. All right, I don't even have a GitHub, and I still get people proposing to me to come work with them. And it's just through word of mouth and my customer service skills. And also, when I got this job back in 2019, I had my DLJ Works YouTube channel, which is right here. I showed them everything that I talked about, how I actually use it to market, some of the actual coding lessons I've actually done on here, the things that I talk about. So if you really know how to run a YouTube channel, I'm not talking about catering it to where it looks like you're trying to compete with the company or you're trying to create drama on it, but you really know how to create a YouTube channel, because I've had this channel since 2018. I haven't cracked 1,000 subscribers, but this one little channel right here has been so invaluable. And I have several videos that ratio above my subscriber count. So don't pay attention to these likes and subscribes. They're vanity metrics. Get purposeful with your YouTube channel and have some goals in mind as you do this. All right. Have some goals in mind. In addition to being purposeful, that includes niching down, and seriously niching down to where you're catering your YouTube channel for professional reasons. Now, it's okay every once in a while you have a few, talking head points in there and everything else, but they have to remain professional to where if an employer was to look at your YouTube channel, you're not jeopardizing yourself or incriminating yourself. Y'all excuse me for a second. Straighten out my little door there. But you're not incriminating yourself to where you're coming off silly, you're coming off goofy, you're trying to start YouTube drama. Be a professional. Your YouTube channel can work for you. It doesn't have to be looked at as some sort of like, this is a child's play thing. This is not for serious people, not for serious engineers, designers, developers, what have you. Be purposeful about this. I will leave a link in the description, or actually the pinned comment section. If you have not gotten a screen recording software, you cannot afford this one. This is $36 a year. So you have access to an editor. You have access to online screen recording software. You even through their ScreenPal, they even give you access. And I'm not, I'm an affiliate for them, but I've been using this since 2018. But I'm not a sponsor for them. But I've been using this one solo software, and when I'm even done, as I'm talking to you, this is what I'm using to actually make my case and to make this video. But get a screen recording software to where you can actually show your work, document your work. Even with this, you're able to create your own custom video player if you're trying to have a website, but neither here nor there. The whole purpose of this, if you don't want to do that, you have an iMac or something like that, you have a MacBook, use the QuickTime player. All right. You can also use that. Learn how to use that. There's videos on YouTube that can show you how to professionally utilize QuickTime player, Apple's built-in movie player and screen recording software to effectively screen record your lessons, screen record the things that you're doing, the awesome things that you're doing, and keeping a repository on it on YouTube. Look at YouTube as a library for your work. I keep telling people all the time, you have to document something. You have to be able to position yourself as an expert. Even if you are a complete noob, position yourself as an expert. That's what you have to do. Nobody wants to. Job hunting has to be looked at as the dating market now. I have to make this perfectly clear. The employees, your employers are the nice young ladies, all right? And you, the candidate, the job hunter, you're the guy trying to get with the girl. That's how you have to look at this. And people want, most girls, okay, I'm going to say most, in the dating market, from my understanding, even when I was dating, I'm happily married for 11 years now, going on 12, but women want, at least most women want, a guy of means and status. They want to know that they're going to be provided for, what's in it for them, and you have to be able to deliver. Nobody wants somebody like, I need a job and I need somewhere to survive. The desperation stinks. Nobody wants anybody desperate. And that even goes for employers who are trying to hire anybody. They want to know that they're getting the best guy, which is why a lot of employers poach other people that actually still have jobs. They don't get somebody that's unemployed. They actually poach somebody that's still working. And in my position, I've been blessed with that. I'm not going to sit up here and just make it seem like it was all me. A lot of my future hirings and people poaching me has a lot to do, I believe, from the good Lord above. That has a huge step into it because God has opened doors for it. But, we're co-laborers in this. I speak confidently in that. When I say co-laborers, there's some things that I have to do and I have to set in place that the good Lord can use in order to put me in positions to where I can get hired. So there's work to be done, and the work isn't in, I have to make a job out of looking for a job. Right now I'm trying to position my wife in her online presence to where she's presented as the thought leader that I know she is. That's what we have to do, that people are looking out for her. She's not going trying to desperately seek people, but people are coming to her, and putting content out there on YouTube is one of the great things that you can actually do. Now, learn how to make money online, not be an entrepreneur. I want to say that. So I want to get this completely not misunderstood, because people just think just because they throw a product on Gumroad or some marketplace or whatnot, that instantly makes them an entrepreneur. No, silly butt, you're not an entrepreneur. You're just a guy that had or a gal that had an idea. You created something, you threw it up somewhere, you made a sale. All right. Maybe at its basics, you could kind of think that's entrepreneurial, but I don't know. I think my boss that hired me back in 2019 at the sign shop, Patrick Bet David, Elon Musk, those are real entrepreneurs where you have to do taxes. You have to put yourself on the back burner and put the needs of your employees at the forefront. Those are the real entrepreneurs. These making content and the name creation of solopreneur and everything, kick rocks with that. It's not real entrepreneurism. All right, I'm not sitting up here even calling myself an entrepreneur. I'm still a guy with a W-2 right now. I'm a public school teacher, but there are some things I do additionally in order to make sure I stay in the forefront as a thought leader and expert in this field. And that's even without a portfolio, I mind you. You have to do the same thing. So if you're a web developer, stop with the tutorial. That was another thing that Don, the developer, talked about into this with talking about the tutorial hell. When I was at DeVry, yes, I did some projects, but what should I say here? I did some projects, and I didn't spend a lot of time in terms of those class projects. I went out and looked for real life projects. I didn't even do a lot of tutorials at all. I only did tutorials when I needed to look up something to help me solve an issue for a problem a coding problem that I was having when I was learning HTML and CSS and JavaScript. I only looked at tutorials then. But for the most part, I was doing what we call in school project-based learning. You take a project, and a real life project, not a class project like I did at DeVry, and you let the project dictate to you what you need to learn, and that will help you hone in so you're not just scattered all over the place trying to sit up here and figure out where do I need to start? Do I start with CSS? Do I start with some JavaScript? Do I start learning how these variables and global variables and Pick a project and let it determine to you what you specifically need to learn, and that more and more will help you to niche down. And when I say also niche down too, I'm also talking about being able to niche down in terms of, am I trying to do websites for lawyers? Am I trying to do real estate websites? Do I have a fundamental understanding of numbers, accounting numbers, and I want to merge those two worlds together. Figure out what you want to do and who you want to build for. You have to apply marketing and sales intelligence. Sorry to burst your bubble. You can't just be a coder, all right? That's great, if you're just trying to build products and use your coding skills to build things, that's fine. But if you're not going to partner up with somebody else, you need to learn marketing and sales. And that's not just to sell the things that you're building, but it's to sell yourself. How are you positioning yourself? How are you actually utilizing the skills, the human skills that you're developing, those soft skills, in order to sell your hard skills? How are you doing that? All right. So if you start making products and putting them up on Gumroad, for example, let's say, for example, there's some software, you know how to build software, online software, but you want to be able to put it on Gumroad and give people membership access to it. Show that you're able to build a product, market it, and get some numbers up. And you're not trying to compete to these employers as entrepreneurs, but you're just trying to show that, hey, not only can I build some software, but I can also build a product, I can market it, and I can sell it. And this means that if I'm able to get these types of numbers for myself, I want to be able to get it for my types of business. And the company may be like, well, if you're making this type of money, why do you still need a job? Why do you want to work with us and everything? And you don't want to make it about you. It's not going to be what the company can do for you. It's going to be what you can do for the company. You want to sit up here and say, with my ability to build and get these numbers and build good software products, I will be able to bring to you that ability so I can make sure that your company is flourishing, that I could build great software products for you guys. And I want to be able to raise your sales levels. All right. What I can also get from you guys, now that you stated what you can do for the company, so then it's okay for you to say, this is what I can actually learn. I believe this company would actually do for me is to give me the tools that I can't get for myself in order to make me a better marketer, in order to make me a better software creator, because there's only so many things I'm limited by myself that I can do, that I will need the help from somebody that has more resources than I do. So that's another way that you can actually look at it. God, man, I feel like I'm dropping some bars right now, though, but I get tired of, the LinkedIn chills that are just I just constantly see that are just like around the little profile picture, open for work. I've never had that picture on my LinkedIn profile. We look right now, it's just, I don't even have a background. It's just plain old me, Deshaun L. Johnson, writer, web designer. The picture I'm using from 2018 right now at that moment. So very handsome picture, handsome devil you down. Saying right now on this profile, but we're about to get into LinkedIn, but there's some things I actually want to show y'all, so to show you that I'm not capping. So I'm going to go ahead and show you these pictures here. This right here alone. Good afternoon. This was somebody that hit me up. If you could tell by the images, this is actually from Facebook Messenger, but somebody that hit me up, I got their names blocked out or whatnot. They reached out to me. I don't know who these people were. They reached out to me. Not once did they ask to see my portfolio. Not once. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Not once did they ask me for a portfolio. Good afternoon. I found you on LinkedIn and see you are a website developer. I'm with the lead generation company here in blank, and we are in need of a website developer. Then if they decide to use our services and need a website for their company or need to update their current, so they're talking about the types of clients that they service or whatnot. I couldn't get the full thing or whatnot, but not once they asked me for a portfolio, but they described to me what they do and what type of people they are serving, their types of customers they're servicing for their business. And then they end it with, we need an individual who can assist them with that as well. Is that something that you could possibly help with? So I responded back and I was very honest that, look, I'm a current teacher right now. I'm under contract. Y'all seem to need somebody immediately. I won't be able to be that guy, but if you want to work something out, maybe I could do something on, work with y'all part-time or whatnot after hours. That's something I'll be able to do, but they needed somebody to commit full-time. So I was very upfront and honest in terms of what I would be able to do for them. I'm not sitting up here and desperate or anything like that. I got a job. I mean, I'm good right now. So if anybody wants to work with me, I have a lot to offer. I've built Uscreen websites. I've done a lot. So it's no big deal. So they could probably tell based on my interactions on LinkedIn or whatnot. The LinkedIn is going to be a huge proponent of this. I'm not going to focus on YouTube because I focused on YouTube in the past in terms of documentation and showing your work. But I'm going to show you how to actually utilize LinkedIn in order to get this thing going for you. Now, before we do, let's go ahead and let's take a look. So this is somebody that recently just reached out to me. So I want to make that perfectly clear. But let's take a look at what I was talking about with sales. So I'm affiliate with Uscreen, all right? And I've learned their platform. I'm still learning. I'm constantly learning it right now. And I get commissions from the affiliate sales that I make from Uscreen or whatever the case may be, all right? So this is me making additional sales or whatnot outside of my current work. So I wanted to also show you with this is that through YouTube, through some content marketing, writing, it's not just YouTube, it's also writing and everything else that I provide as much useful information, thoughtful information. I show my work. I show that I know what I'm talking about, and I position myself in the role to where people who need something, I'm the one that pops up in those problems, in those queries, and those problems that people are searching for, especially when it comes to membership sites and sales. And I'm continuing to do that. So this is what I'm talking about by marketing and sales. What do you think? How are you thinking outside the box to get more sales, to attract new customers? That's the actual position I'm in right now. But I'm showing you this as evidence that this isn't really a game. You have to be able to do more so you're not in a state of desperation. Don't just start looking for a job. Start thinking about, all right, well, I'm looking for work, okay? Looking for work is going to be the side thing that I'm going to do. Instead of me going to them, I'm going to have them come to me. That's the mindset that I've been trying to preach on this channel through several videos for some years now. Learn how to get people to come to you rather than you going to people, and then working something out, learning how to write contracts, all of that. All right. If you don't know how to write a contract, speaking of which, let me pull that up. Docs.google. Okay, let me pull up the DLJ work contract and everything else. I think this is just a standard contract agreement that I wrote out. All right, so I talk about projected costs based on services. I make it adjusted. If we talk about logo design, I separate content, because one of the things I've learned is that you cannot do the content for people. People have to provide their own text and images and videos and whatnot. That's not your job. Your job is to format, layout, secure, configure whatever website or code that you're trying to do for them on their thing. Use some dummy text images, use some stock photography, stock videos in order to sell whatever website you're trying to do for them, whatever flexibility. But you want to write these terms. If you're interested in having a copy of this, I can make a very generic one that you can just copy in a link below. But I'm only going to put this in if you're interested in that. All right. So leave a comment below if you would like for me to send or for you to copy, make a free copy of this web development contract. You can make adjustments to it on your own, but know how to write contracts and learn the legal jargon. All right. So that's what you got to do. Now let's get into the biggest thing I wanted to talk about in this video, and that is LinkedIn and content creation, more content creation tips. LinkedIn is so underutilized right now, I believe. LinkedIn has so much potential in terms of you being able to showcase some cool stuff that you're able to do. So I'm going to quickly run down this list. I already know I've been doing a lot of talking, but it is what it is. I want to be able to drop bars and give you the game in terms of how you can set yourself apart and be different than every candidate that's online, especially LinkedIn right now. On LinkedIn, what you want to do is that you want to post cool content that shows you can do something that people are not able to do. Long gone are the days of you doing like little flip animations of CSS. If you're a web developer, long gone are the days of you being able to do the basics. You have to be able to show that you're able to like do something like build a Mario game. Y'all excuse me for a second. All right, forgive me for that little break. Had an interrupted phone call in there for a minute, but back to what I was saying. You have to be able to post things that people aren't able to do when it comes to coding. Set yourself apart. Go on CodePen and start typing in like things like JavaScript animations just off the bat. For example, find some things that you could kind of look at. They never had, this was never a thing and everything else. So I don't want to log in. Like, let's see here. I never had to actually. All right, let me type this in. I never actually had to sign in to on CodePen in order to look at anything else. So it looks like everybody's moving into the membership subscription model. You need a account in order to look at these things right here. So yeah, so this right here, it writes itself in JavaScript. All that complex JavaScript code on here to make this CodePen title animation right here. All right, some complex stuff that I wouldn't be able to do myself right now. It would take like a while for me to be able to run and be able to write this code. All right, 'cause I'm not that advanced of a JavaScript user, but that's what I'm saying though. Do something. Have a CodePen, have GitHub, have something to where you can showcase that you're able to do things that makes you stand above the pack. Take a video of it, not just do it, but take a video of it and be able to explain it to other people on your LinkedIn. All right, so be able to, in those videos, if you do something on CodePen, you want to be able to use something like Screencast-O-Matic, be able to record and be able to teach and explain, how do you do this? How do you even make something like this happen? A lot of people, they just, show and tell, which is fine. Whoever this guy is, James Martin Davies, this is cool, but it'll be good to have an explanation in terms of how you actually made this happen. Taking people under your wing, being those of you who are looking for a mentor. If you're able to explain how you're able to do these cool things and explain it to where a 5-year-old can understand, that makes you even triple valued if you're able to do that. So be able to take some screen recording software such as this, get a little microphone like I got. This is a Blue Yeti right here. All right. I don't have any Amazon links, but I'll just link it if you are just interested in that. And be able to teach yourself how to teach and practice explaining what are you doing and why this goes with that. That's how you're also going to set yourself apart from artificial intelligence. Being able to help the little guy up who's down there in the trenches of their web design development career. They're a complete noob and they need a lot of help. That's how you're going to differentiate yourself. Next is niche your coding skills down and post content around that. So that's something that I've just kind of been talking about, encompassing in this whole dialogue with you, however you want to look at it. I look at it as a conversation right now. I'm talking to you, homie to homie to homie right now at this moment in time. But are you a JavaScript specialist? Are you doing like able to do forms? Is your specialty being able to customize forms and do a lot of conditional logicking with those forms? Like you fill out something and you get a lot of if-then statements, and if you fill out this part, it drops down something else. What is your specialty? What are your skills specializing in? It's good to know coding, but what does that translate to? What does that easily translate to somebody in the real world? All right, you're able to do JavaScript code, but what does that apply to? Are you a JavaScript developer for banking applications? Or so instead of calling yourself a JavaScript developer, you're calling yourself, I build bank applications, or I build bank extensions for websites such as Chase and credit unions or wherever the case may be. All right. What is your skills narrowing down to where people in the real world can easily set you apart as a specialist and you go from there? That's what I mean by niche your coding skills down and post content around that. Get you some screen recording software, or even if you're doing this on your phone, if you're writing code on your phone. I don't, but if you do, iPhone already has a built-in screen recorder with a microphone that you can easily put your voice up and just talk about. All right. Show yourself as an expert. And even if you're able to, and when you're able to take those skills and help people and make money around it, start talking about that too and posting it right here on LinkedIn. Okay? Start doing that often. Do it on Twitter. Post wherever you can and make yourself look like the expert. I know it sounds cliche and everything because you're coming off as some guru and everybody's an expert, but we're able to show. And because here's the thing about coding, all that guru talk is irrelevant. It's either you know it or you don't in a world of programming and software development. You can show people if you're able to explain why it works and how it works, then you need to be able to do that. On my DLJ Works channel, I have a few, I'm kind of moving away from actually coding tutorials. Not too much, but because I'm starting to do more of the, I'm niching down to where I'm talking more about Uscreen and helping people build their websites with that and getting more new customers. But I also make these types of videos to still help general web designers or whatnot. But you see I'm niching down, and which is why you could tell that at 751 subscribers, I don't have a lot of people because I'm in a very unique audience group at this moment. It's not a lot of people looking for membership websites such as Vimeo, TT, and Uscreen. But in here, I actually have a few coding, some old ones. Here it is right here. How to create a 3D flip card that I did 2 years ago, 93 views or whatever the case may be. Spinning logo animation. So whatever I was learning, I shared it. And that put me at a different position and to show that I'm able to talk about this and expertise and being able to talk about it very concisely without a lot of runtime right now. At this moment in time, I know this video is running long, but it is what it is. We'll add some timestamps, but I'm just wanting to be straight from the heart on this with some notes. Show your work in progress. Been talking about that, so we'll keep going. Position yourself as an expert, even if you're a noob. Talk about certain things and be available for criticisms. I haven't talked about that. When you put yourself out there, you have to be available and to start developing thick skin for people to challenge you on the things that you're trying to teach. Because if there's some, high and mighty snobbish coder out there, that's somebody that feels like they're a god because they're a good programmer, and we know those people exist. If they start challenging you on the things that you're talking about, if they tend to know more than you, just simply say, okay, smart guy, if you're able to do this better and faster, please show me and please do a rebuttal video so you can better help not only myself, but other audience members as well. All right, now shut all that noise up. But you have to be available for criticism for the things that you're actually talking about, for the way that you're being vulnerable and that sort of thing here on the interwebs. You have to be available for that and take it on the chin. So in this case, you need, if it's somebody that's not just simply just trolling you or like this is horrible, this sucks, and they'll really give you criticism because they think your code could be better, even if they are saying that it stinks, but they think it could be better, take the criticism and move on and get better. That's what you need to do, and that's how we're going to continue to move on. All right? Next, which I already talked about earlier, don't be a guy online begging for work. I need a job. Desperation stinks. I'm not going to put out anybody out there right now. You just need to be the person to not do that. All right. Don't be the person just to go under comment sections and everything else saying like, why are they not hiring this type of people? Why are they not hiring this person of color? They're not hiring enough white women, or they're not hiring enough black guys. Don't be that. Don't be that guy. Don't waste your time being that person. Start putting in the work. Start putting in the work. If you have not seen my video, all right, if you have not seen, let me see if I can even find it. PSA for up and coming black coders, which I made over 3 years ago. It's at 3,300 views. You need to watch that video, all right? Because that's going to be a shortened version of what we're talking about now. But there's some things I wanted to elaborate on. But it's basically telling you get off your behind and put in the work. Don't be the person sitting up here complaining about how companies aren't being fair. If all those little things matter, like your hair color and discrimination, build your own damn company. That's what it's going to come down to. Build your own. Don't sit up here trying to make an employer change their things for you. Build your own stuff. That's what it is. And that's the whole purpose of this video, is to either make you, what is it? What did my old mentoress used to say when I was an English teacher? Poop or get off the pot. That's what you have to make a decision of right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you at this moment in time. You need to make a hardcore decision. Am I going to do what's necessary and make people come to me, or am I just going to build my own and just have my own entity, be my own employer? What am I trying to do? That's the only time you should think about becoming a real entrepreneur, where you need to hire other people. You want to hire the people that you want and put the type of people that you want to put on. That would be the true entrepreneurship. But other than that, don't be those people. All right. Show other supporting skills such as sales and marketing, not entrepreneurship. We talked about that several times. All right. Potential employers may think that you're trying to compete if you write having your resume that you owned the former company and that company failed or whatnot. And And from what I've been told, that actually could work against you if you write it down on there that you've had your own company and it failed. That could actually be a turnoff to potential employers and potential companies who have years in the game, and they're looking at you silly because you've tried to sit up here and have your own company and employees and wherever the case may be. All right. So I would avoid entrepreneurship being placed on your resume, but show some numbers. Show some things that can go in the accomplishments and achievement statements on your resume. Go beyond the portfolio. I still hear people on the internet still, I used to listen to Mike Locke a lot back in the day. He helped me in my earlier times of web design. And his thing was that your portfolio is the golden ticket, which may very well be true. But what I'm telling you right now is you have to go beyond the portfolio. The portfolio was your golden ticket back in 2014 when I used to listen to his content a lot. Today, content creation is your golden ticket. Listen to me carefully. Content creation is your golden ticket. What are you saying up here? This is my LinkedIn page. What are you saying up here on your content right now? All right. What videos are you putting out? It's got 150 impressions. I post some of my other content. More videos, 191 impressions. Let me see here. This is an article I wrote called The New Guys and Their Creations. So that was a technology article that I wrote, but I wrote a lot of stuff and I posted a lot of things. Here, this got a lot of impressions. This was actually a book. I used my graphic design skills. So that's one way. So instead of calling myself a graphic designer, I could say that I format and design books for people. So that now I'm giving my skills an identification. My skills have an identity now. They're tangible. This is something that I actually co-wrote and designed, did the formatting and everything for Daniels Wells. That's on YouTube as well. So if you don't know who Winning with Wells is, please check him out or whatnot though. But we co-wrote this. I helped him get the formatting done. I designed the front cover and figured out something that was going to be good for his brand. But how are your skills being translated? Are you giving your skills an identity? That's what you need to do. So go beyond a portfolio. Start giving your skills an identity. Yeah, you have a lot of coding knowledge, but where's the tangibility in that? What is something that people can see? And your portfolio doesn't need to just be a library of the websites that you've built. How have you helped these websites that you have built? How have you helped them get numbers? What type of success numbers have they driven for the customers that you built them for? Is the way that you structure and planned out the website gave into the psychology where it's going to help with more customer sales for that person that you developed it for? Did you help your client get the results that they need through the skills that you built? Give your skills an identity. All right, get an unrelated job to ease the pain of you being desperate. It's way too many people, man, that just they are making a job or looking for a job. But I would actually even say work at a retail store or something in the meantime. Get rid of this desperation. Get rid of it. You have to do something in the meantime. Stop crying. It's going to take some time and a lot of work. Accept that is the reality. I didn't get my first web design job until 2019, to be honest with you. I've been doing this since 2011, but I have a good reason. I was doing this on the side for years, building free projects and then getting paid for projects from 2011 up until the time that I got that job. So that's how my name got out. But I wasn't crying or nothing. I wasn't desperate. I was a teacher. I was actually enjoying teaching. I'm still enjoying teaching right now. Well, that'll be said for another conversation. See my other YouTube channel, Deshaun Johnson, where I talk nothing but teaching. Some writing, but I think I'm going to directly go up to more towards the teaching on that. But I was teaching English and technology to students and then still doing the web design stuff and getting asked, people learning about what I do and just the word of mouth and a good name that's been developed around me. So that's what you have to do. All right. Show your achievements. What is your skills? What type of achievements and successes and wins are your skills getting right now? What's happening? All right. Show achievements on LinkedIn. Like every time you're on LinkedIn, show a win, a celebration, a W that you've gotten. Maybe you've passed the certification test or something like that. Maybe you've done several things. I'm not really sure, but show something. All right. Post that on LinkedIn, post it on YouTube. I don't care. You have to show what your progress and what your journey is, because everybody loves an underdog story. So show that as well. Let's see here. Have people vouch for you, not just in the section, but have them tag you in posts. So that was talking about, let me go back to here. We'll go back to my profile. If we look at where am I trying to go here? Experience, education, recommendations. All right. So my man, Rick Espen, I don't think he'll mind me like talking about him right now, but this is a recommendation. This is a vouch. Okay. You want to try to get people some referrals, some people to speak on your behalf in terms of your work with them and everything else, because it just looks good. It's social credit, all right? Or social, did I say that right? Is it social credit? I'm getting into some conspiracy stuff, social credit and everything else. Social recognition, okay? This matters so much, but even more so than this, when people are making their posts, and I admit I haven't gotten where people have tagged me. Well, maybe I have. It's been a minute since I actually looked at that. But when people are actually posting on their own LinkedIn, or they tagging you in, are they tagging you somewhere into their post to acknowledge you for something that you've done for them, or for your expertise or your knowledge base. That also helps. That happens to me a lot on Facebook, actually, where I have a lot of people who, I'm looking for a web designer, and I'll get tagged immediately in the comment section. And some of those people have reached out, some haven't, but it's cool though. I got my plate already full and everything else in the terms of the stuff that I'm doing, but have people vouch for you. Start getting those referrals and people speaking on your behalf and everything else, because that credit is going to matter. That social proof, that's what I'm looking for. That social proof is going to be everything. What are you doing for other people? Reputation matters, and content will help you build that reputation. Serve people. Continue to serve people in a capacity that they need to be served in. So find an audience that you're trying to help out. If you're a complete noob, this video is more so for those of you who are struggling and everything else. If you're a noob, a novice, you're going to have to face the fact that there's going to have to be many gears you're going to have to turn in order to make this work for you. So do you want to focus on you chasing after people, or do you want people chasing after you? Where do you want to put your energy and time into this job hunt? Stop hunting for a job. Let people build your reputation and your proof, and build your skill level. All right. Get into God mode. I like video game references. Get into God mode, where people are looking for you and constantly doing that. I'm sitting up here, I'm still working, but on the side, I'm still doing things for people behind the scenes, and I'm constantly putting out content and building stuff up to where people are looking at me and looking at like, man, we need to hire this guy. This guy has a skill set and a level that we just can't find nowhere else. All right. Make yourself known, make yourself available. You may, even if you're a person that doesn't like to put yourself out there, start doing things for people behind the scenes and just serving them and being able to show them what you got and letting them speak for them. Let your customer service skills be godlike, be excellent, to where people won't have any choice but to gloat and rant and rave about what they've done for you and what you're going to continue to do for them. Networking matters in that regard. And the easiest way to network is to do something for somebody. Not, you can shake hands and kiss babies or whatever else, go to some mixer and drink it up. And, this is my partner, Cecil. Cecil, why don't you meet Gladys over here? Like that, yeah, those type of parties or whatnot, matter, snobbish parties, but at the basics, networking, and then from what I've experienced, the easiest way and most productive way to network is to go ahead and serve people and do things that will help them further their ambitions and their motives. That's what I want. Lastly is get LinkedIn certifications. Okay. Lastly, is get LinkedIn certifications. Now, I need to go back here. Let's go back. Okay. What are my certifications right now? Certifications actually serve twofold. Number one, it's another social proof thing by LinkedIn. But number two, LinkedIn also, when people are reaching out to you on LinkedIn, you'll pop up in what people are looking for on LinkedIn in terms of a web designer and developer, because you have the social credit, you got the certification, which pushes your profile up higher than others who say that they do certain things. So if you go under skills, I want to see if it's under skills here. I got all these things listed, but all these skills are irrelevant if you don't have, like right now I have the HTML, I passed LinkedIn skill assessment, cascading style sheet, CSS skill assessment. I'm still trying to help the JavaScript because I don't work a lot in JavaScript, but that's the last thing I actually need. And I think if I get that, I'll have the trifecta of what I actually need to do. So maybe I'll focus on that in the latter half of the year, but I got a lot of stuff still going on. But I want that badge. I just want that badge and to be able to push me up. But just these three things alone, CSS, this is still the same. So these two, but it looks like three, but whatever. Well, actually four. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have these badges, all right? And they last. They stay with you. Get you some LinkedIn certifications and whatever it is, so you are moved up into the food chain when people are looking for people to hire. That's just more social proof and more evidence of your own expertise and being able to back up your talk. So all this talk that you have, your profile is just all this talk or whatnot, but can you back it up under the skills and everything else? Look for some other courses, skills courses that LinkedIn has to offer. And take those. I'm only speaking from my experience. Maybe you're somebody watching this and be like, I got 10 badges and they haven't helped me do anything. Well, I don't know what type of badges you got, but for me, they have helped me immensely. And I have not. I constantly have people reaching out to me for, well, we want to use your content for our website. You wrote a really good article, or we see that you have this skill set, yet you built this website and then blah, 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 blah. I got people coming to me and speaking on things that they heard about the work that I've done. I'm not sitting up here chasing anybody. I'm like you. I'm a guy who invested his money in a computer, a microphone, and have a skill set. I have the access to the internet just like you do, and I'm able to leverage the internet, as Boogie 2988 would say, through the power of the internet. I'm able to utilize the power of the internet to put my expertise out there, show what I know, show my work. And to be able to, let people know I'm able to help them in this way and get rewarded for that, whether petty-wise or handsomely. There's been some charlatans out there, and over time I've learned who those charlatans are. But I'm just like you. I have access to this just like you do, and this is how I make use of it, and these are the rewards for me. This is the results for me. I'm just reporting it back to you. All right? So get you some LinkedIn search. Start, I guess if you're going to do some things, DM some people, wherever the case may be. That's something I haven't done or haven't any need to do or whatnot, though. So you have access to all of this. And this is, my friends, the way that you pimp out your LinkedIn profile and you make the most of it. Only got 328 followers, 311 connections. And this links to my I believe my Medium profile. So let me go ahead and open this up. All right, there it is. This links into my Medium profile or whatnot, where I have a lot of articles, both technical, social wise, teaching articles, all sorts of things that I actually write about. And I also make use of LinkedIn's. If I wanted to do let me see here, a post. I wanted to do a LinkedIn start a post. All right. If I wanted to write on here, if I wanted to write an article, all right. Let me see here. Where is the LinkedIn article at? Add to your post, add a video. Oh, well, I'm not going to even try to show y'all right now and everything else. But if I wanted to actually just write a article, here it is right here at the very top. So if I wanted to write an article, make use of LinkedIn's article ability and start writing articles. They encourage newsletters, but I can't just keep posting an article or a newsletter post consistently, because I'm just doing so much other stuff. But start using their articles. You have an idea, you want to write something technical, and you want to go ahead and put it out there in the world. Make use of LinkedIn's article ability feature and be able to just write it out, and it'll get picked up in Google. LinkedIn has a strong domain in terms of Google search engines, to where if you utilize SEO with this, you'll be able to post and write about some really good stuff and get it found within Google, just utilizing LinkedIn's strong domain features. All right, man, I think I talked a lot in this video, but I had a lot to get off my chest in terms of, because I hate seeing people cry and everything else. Yep, I see you clean your hands and everything. That's my son, so definitely it's time for me to get off of here right now. My time is over, but I don't want you to struggle. And there's other ways that you can actually not struggle when it comes to this online game and this job hunting. So if you're a struggling developer watching this, I hope that you learned something in this. Now clocking in at over 45 minutes in this video. If you like anything or you disagree with something, I'd love to continue to have a conversation in the comment section. But this is DLJ Works, and we'll talk soon. God bless and peace out.